Hi, my name is Rylan Williams, and today I will be presenting our group's case study. My other group members are Daniel Groth, Caden Susky, Kyle Shannon, and Owen McGregor. We will be analyzing the drainage issues and solutions found in this case study. The 14th hole at Chateau Whistler is a par 4 with a ravine just after the tee box. Around 6 years ago, the course underwent a renovation. This spot has been notoriously saturated with water since. This routinely stops play, limits walking traffic and carts, and has a negative impact on turf and public perception. 2% slope is generally the accepted grade to have sufficient drainage and a green space. The current fairway is at a grade of 1% towards the ravine and consists of silty loam, which has a hydraulic conductivity of 2.36 to the power of -5 feet per second. The approach is 250 yards long and 30 yards wide. The stressed turf that you find in the very middle of figure 1 shows where the drainage problem is. Water is pooling there and in the middle of the fairway towards the foot, around where those stakes are. Public perception is an important aspect of turf grass management, and play cannot be consistently delayed by something without golfers eventually being fed up. The redesign of this fairway was either botched in planning or execution and can be fixed very easily. Over a drainage system, there should approximately be 12 inches of topsoil for a fairway. Through rearranging the Hookout equation, if we assume a general drainage rate of around an inch per hour, then that makes us able to find the ideal spacing between drains to achieve that drainage rate of roughly 1 inch per hour. 24 feet is right in the middle of the generally accepted range of distance between fairway drains, which is 16 feet to 32 feet. This fairway's chronic saturation problems can be fixed through a number of drainage solutions, both subsurface and surface. These include regrading the surface to a greater slope than 2%, excavating a swale where the fairway bowls itself in, catch basins, and a subsurface option would be slit drainage. But this problem is mainly a surface drainage problem, so surface drainage problem systems will be prioritized. Regrade to a slope of 2% instead of the current 1%. This will help the water not to pool in the middle of the fairway. Nearly every landscaping company that specializes in drainage recommends a minimum 2% slope for proper drainage. This would allow the water not to pool in the fairway, but may not completely drain in the secondary area in the rough that is pooled. This is a project that could be done by the on-course maintenance crew and would mostly cost time if the correct equipment is already owned. Otherwise, rental fees would be the main cost to the course. To go over subsurface drainage quickly, slit drainage would be the most effective method for a fairway like this. 1 to 2 foot deep trenches are dug throughout the fairway in a network-like pattern. 1.5 to 2 inch slit drainage tile is installed, and trenches are backfilled with coarse sand and resodded. As explained before with the Hookout equation, the ideal spacing between drains for this case study is 24 feet. For a 250 yard long fairway, there would be roughly either 10 or 11 lateral drains, connected to a single drain running down the slope of the fairway. It would take roughly 1,350 linear yards of 1.5-inch drain tile for this project, which would cost about $1,400. Coarse sand for fill throughout the system would likely be about 45 cubic yards to cover that many linear yards in a 1 to 2 foot deep trench. At $38 a cubic yard, this would cost roughly $1,700. This system could be installed by the maintenance crew, but would likely be contracted out to another company, which would up the cost even more. This drainage system is more expensive than any surface system, but lasts a very long time and is reliable. Another commonly used surface drainage system is to dig a swale and have a catch basin connected to a pre-existing main drain. The ideal spot for a swale on this fairway would be at the currently lowest point of the bowl. Excavation would be shallow but still significant in that area and would gradually get deeper towards the high part of the fairway that's holding the water in. At the end of the swale, a catch basin would be installed in a depression in the rough and connected to a main drain. This is another project that can be performed by the maintenance crew and would only cost money for rental fees if necessary and materials. A catch basin is roughly $30, and 4-inch drainage tile is roughly 40 cents per linear foot. And just to be safe, 20 linear feet would likely be purchased to add up to a whopping grand total of about $40 without labor. After analyzing this case study and each possible drainage solution, we actually believe that the optimal solution is to do all of them on this fairway. Each drainage solution is optimally used for a certain part of this drainage problem, and using them all together to cover all of the bases is the only way the fairway will consistently drain into the distant future. The swale catch basin combination will mainly affect the very front of the fairway that wouldn't be fixed with the other two solutions. Regrading and slit drainage will help drainage throughout the rest of the fairway and will eventually fix the dead spot further up the fairway in the rough. I hope you enjoyed our presentation, and thank you very much.